Hello and welcome to week 7 of Big Data, NLP, LLMs. We're making a lot of progress. I've looked at some of the research proposals. They're doing good. I made a quick video on a few suggestions, and I also uploaded a few samples. Also, there's a homework feedback if you want it. Let me show you where that's at really quick. So if you log into Web Campus, just click Modules. Down here at the very bottom, there's just general homework feedback. Instead of like doing a lot of individual feedbacks, I just kind of aggregate all the feedback together and provide you one lump sum feedback. So most of the time you guys are doing good on the homework. I don't see any real major problems. For the research project, research proposal, you go right here to any of these that actually have it. I just saw one. Here's the sample papers. And here's the suggestions from maybe like the 10 or so I read. So maybe that will help you a little bit. Let me switch back over to this. Okay, so today it's kind of a weird day. I don't even know how to explain it. Because so much of what we do sometimes in college does not translate over to real world experience. You might learn how to change your thinking or change your method, troubleshoot. You might understand the fundamentals of something, but to translate that into actionable goals, that's always sometimes not always a direct relation between college and real life. That's why this particular topic and this particular project is so interesting to me, because this is stuff that can really, and I spelled that wrong, that's just the way I learned how to say it, is BERTopic, but the actual spelling is B-E-R-T, all capitalized, and topic under reverse. This is the correct spelling of it. Yeah. So BERTopic is, I guess, a Python library or a module, whatever you should call it, that does a lot of things that you've already learned how to do. It just kind of automates it, and it does more too. So we'll cover that a little bit. But let's kind of look at where we're at today, because the midterm, don't worry about the midterm. I'm going to probably give you a take-home test. You're going to have lots of time to work on it. It's not going to be hard. I'm not a big believer in tests, and in terms of like multiple choice questions, I've never been a big fan of those. So don't worry about the midterm. But we're coming up about halfway, and we have learned a lot about the fundamentals of big data. Differences of velocity of data, volume of data, the variety of data, things like that. We've learned the basics of RAIDs. We've learned, different types of structured, unstructured data. And in the NLP book, right here, I have it up on the screen, you guys have learned a ton of stuff. Stop words, how to do tokenizations. These are just some of the things I thought off the top of my head. Parts of speech. Hey, is that a noun? Is that a proper noun? Regex. Corpus, grabbing data from different places, stemming, name entry recognition. Just a ton of stuff. I cannot express how much you guys have learned. I went through and looked, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys have done a lot. Okay? And that's what's so interesting about this BERTopic, is that we kind of take all those things and somebody kind of put it in a manner to do it. So now you have a really good, strong foundational understanding of what is needed and what's not needed, and we can actually use it. Okay. We've also done word vectors, which I know is the homework still outstanding, and so far, I think 10 people have emailed me, and maybe even more have done the actual homework and submitted it. It's perfect. So the word vector builds upon this, which we'll talk about in a second. But word vector gives you an understanding of how words are related. This gives us an idea of how topics are related. Okay. Now, this book does cover a little bit in this chapter 8, the unsupervised method. And I can teach you the unsupervised method, but let's just skip forward to the supervised method, to the machine learning method, to the more intelligent method. And a lot of it is still unsupervised. BERTopic, it just adds context to it, because it does clustering. It's unsupervised because it does clustering. I'll rephrase that. So, I love that saying, art is code that does something. And today we'll hopefully see something that can mimic that. Okay, and also too, this module and this lecture is going to be less math-based, less didactic, more big picture, because BERTopic does a lot of things under the hood. As long as you have a general idea about it, we don't need to go in a lot of detail unless you want to go into computer science, engineering, something else like this. You know, my feeling is that tools like BERTopic and many of these other really advanced, Spacey, just, NLP, NLTK, we're going to be built into software in the next 1 to 5 years. And it's going to be able to do it automatically. So knowing what's under the hood, as long as you generally know what's under the hood, we don't have to get into a lot of details. I can't tell you the compression ratio or the gear ratios of my car, but I know how to drive my car. I know that my car has gears in the transmission. I know it has cylinders. I know cylinders have compression ratios. But much more than that, I don't know. And that's the level I'm hoping to get to you on BERTopic. Hey, it does X, Y, and Z. And it does these because it's important. And I want to do something with that. So this module is going to be kind of part learning and part doing. So I know not all of you completed the BERTopic, but BERTopic basically, it's designed to have words that are similar meaning, okay? And that's all it really does. You know, if we're looking for a certain word, what other words mean something similar or on the same vector line? So those other words, what words mean something different? But words in themselves are limited contextually. So if we want to move it up to a bigger, I don't know, chunk of information, what about topics? You know, topics can be sentences, they can be themes. You know, what are topics? Okay? And if we think about it, I mean, I've taken individual classes throughout my career as a student, but that doesn't really get me a degree. A degree is a theme. You know, when you get a college degree, you've taken at least a minimum amount of theme-related classes. Now, it doesn't say you can't take other classes. I took a walking class at UNLV, and that had nothing to do with my degrees. I just needed an extra 2 credits for some semester, so I took a walking class. It had nothing to do with my data analytics, or it had nothing to do with my PhD. It's just one of those one-word things that are out there. And so topic modeling becomes inherently important because we get better understanding of really what is going on. Instead of just understanding one word, we can understand a topic. Now, I covered, I think, one of these a couple chapters ago, and I don't want to get into the math of it. I think I posted a great Medium, and the math of all of these is not that hard. But I did post a Medium article that goes into a little bit more detail on this. But you know, traditional methods, non-machine learning based methods like LDA. You know, and I literally just asked ChatGPT to come up with an analogy, the easiest one possible. Imagine you have a magic machine and it can discover hidden themes from a pile of magazines. You tell the magazine how many themes you think there are, and it starts sorting through all the pages. It decides on themes like sports, fashion, technology based on the words it finds in them. The machine doesn't really understand the words, but notices certain words tend to show up together, word vectors, and articles about the same theme, so it groups these articles under the same theme based on those familiar words. Well, the problem is sometimes words can have multiple meanings. If I'm a nature guy, you know, we talked about this river bank. I love going to the river bank. The river bank enriches my life. And when I go to the river bank, I find, you know, whatever, things like that, you know. Or I'm a financial analyst. I go to the bank every day. It enriches my paycheck. You know, we can use the same words and they have completely different contexts. Okay. And this is where BERTopic gets its strength because it uses transformers and other technology. There's another one, non-negative matrix factorization, and HDP. There's another one. I put in just real general analogies, but you know, if we look at traditional, you know, the older school methods of doing topic modeling, these are the tools we generally use. You know, we'd run through, collect the data, we'd pre-process it. And in the pre-processing, it could be a lot more than this. It could be, spell correction. It could be, just a million different things. We vectorize it. So, that's all you've done. You know how to do all this. And you just apply topic modeling, and you can either analyze or revise the topic. So basically, you know how to do traditional topic modeling except for applying a topic, okay, or applying like an LDA. So, good. That's where we are today. And that's why I kind of want to change this to a machine learning model, because machine learning, it's really interesting what machine learning can do nowadays, because it can understand words that aren't necessarily in its own language. It can understand non-domain words. So when we do traditional topic modeling, even our keywords, a lot of what we do has to be domain specific, because words can mean different things in different domains, like the word river and bank. Machine learning models tend to understand this, or can infer this from the intention they use to better kind of get an understanding of the context of the sentence. And so that's what's majorly different about this. So look, up until this point, we've just done traditional models, boring stuff. Now we're going to kind of go more to machine learning, more advanced topics, at least with this. So BERT, if any of you want to continue the paper mail, make that this week's extra credit, because I just realized I haven't done that yet. BERT is a bidirectional encoder for transformers. Now, transformers and this bidirectional encoder, at the end of the day, it's just a more efficient way to handle sequential data by looking at certain attention points. And the easy way to kind of think about this is, if you have a sentence, it either predicts the next word, or it predicts a map, a map of the word. The quick brown blank jumped over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox, we all know that. University of Nevada blank Vegas. We can all know that that's Las Vegas. So these are that's masking, and that's part of kind of what BERT, how it kind of learns, and a few other methods. But this discovery by Google is basically what made a lot of LLMs what they are today. A lot of people have built on them and improved them and stuff like this, but this is the fundamental, springboard for a lot of, NLP in today's world. So BERTopic is a specialized, topic modeling approach. So, you run it, do all these really cool things, makes life much easier. And this is why, I tell you the kind of difference between business and academic. Because this, in the business side, BERTopic does a bunch of things in the background. It does clustering, it does dimensional reduction, it does all the things automatically, because, again, it's about the results at the end of the day. So, BERTopic, unlike traditional topic modeling approaches that rely on word frequency, we talked about 2 or 3 chapters ago. Word frequency is how often a word appears maybe in a corpus. BERTopic uses semantic meaning of words captured in their embedding to identify topic clusters. Okay, so it surpasses traditional model by focusing on semantic context rather than word frequency, because sometimes word frequency versus the context of words is not always the same thing. Some words may have more value, and you may use them less or more. Just because you have a frequency or a count of a word doesn't always mean it is the most accurate thing. Let's keep going here. So this, I love this one right here. So this is another great picture. So basically, we get a bunch of documents. We embed them. Okay, I guess we vectorize them. Then we reduce the dimensionality of it. That will basically help us assure what words are the most important, or what words contribute to the meaning of it. Then we cluster, and then we kind of extract, or we generate class-specific candidates, these topics, basically. And then we basically display it. So now the nice thing about BERTopic is it does visualizations automatically. It does a bunch of things automatically. All these things it does automatically, which makes life 10 times easier. Now getting used to that it takes a second, but basically you give it a text, a corpus, or rows, or a paragraph, say, hey, do something cool with this, and it does. I have a little demo I'm going to show you. So it can do text embedding, blah, blah, let's see, okay, so dimensional, this is not the one I want, but yeah, that's what it does. Okay, so this is the one I love. It's hard to explain how cool this is until you run into these problems yourself. It's language independent. Now, that doesn't mean you can mix and match languages per se, but it can work in different languages. It has multilingual support. Okay, it's domain independent, so it can do science, it can do financial, it can do Twitter. It doesn't really matter, and not a lot of NLP traditional is like that. It has a visualization. I don't know why I have that extra space, and that's kind of weird. Interactive visualization. So you say, hey, give me this type of graph, give me a hierarchical graph. Boom, it does it. So you don't have to run it to Matplotlib or these other tools. It just gives it to you. Okay, so like I said, it integrates with a lot of tools. Okay, so the best way for me to help you use this and to learn this is basically to have you do something with it. Now, what I did is I took a sample notebook, I changed it around like I'd expect you to do, and then I ran it. But to kind of make this a little easier on you and me, I guess, is basically I made this homework two-part assignment. One is due in a week. But basically you just have to show me a draft code. Just show me that you're trying to do something with BERTopic. And you load a data set and boom, you got it processing in BERTopic, but it dies. Or here's a problem. That's all I want on this. It doesn't have to be functional, it doesn't have to be working. You have a data set loaded and you're trying to do something with BERTopic. That's all I ask. 5 points. Easy peasy. Then the week after that, I want you to have a data set. I want you to process it through BERTopic, and I want you to generate knowledge. I want you to give me at least one graph. You can give me more, but I want some type of either topic selection, what most topics are. I want a visualization, at least one, of something. And there's a million different examples of how to do this on the internet. Now, you can go and use parts of somebody else's code. As long as you reference them, I have no problem with that. You just can't copy all somebody's code, change one thing, and call it your own. That's dishonest. Okay, so I want to make sure that I put that in there. There's not a lot, but there's a good amount of BERTopic example codes, sample codes. The GitHub I have for you shows maybe 20 different codes, and you literally could just take that, work with it, and grow off one of their data sets, and you'd be fine. Then on part 2, I just want you to write a few sentences, a paragraph, I don't care, something just about how you think BERTopic is going to impact either what you do or work or NLP. Why do you think BERTopic is so important? Why am I making you do this? Classes we don't nearly have enough time to cover all the things I'd love to cover. So this must be important. Why do you think it's important? And that's what I'm asking for. So reflect on your learning process or the utility of the topic modeling, the potential real-world applications of the finding. I'm pretty general. You can just pick one of those, do all three. I don't care. I just want a few sentences on why basically you think BERTopic is important. So I've included a bunch of things. I'll put these on Web Campus. And that's all I basically have for you. So let's dive into the code, and we'll go from there.